thank you guys for being here. Again, if you're on the training, we're going to be talking about every single site, so none of your sites are left out. You'll know how to do the report for them. Now, if you go to your compliance document, your compliance section, in the compliance section, there's 3 pages that are, it starts on page C37 that talks about the low income report, and C40 starts the provision and CEP. So I would highly recommend you use this because this is also instructions. So it's really, like I said, it's 4 pages long. It's very short, but I would go to C. It starts on page C37. And then for provision, it starts on C40. So very little information, but go here. This is also the instructions on how to fill it out. And so if you need help additional to this, again, we will also send you the link and the slides when we're done, and then it will also be in OSDE Connect. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Okay, so access to low income report. I do want to tell you guys, an email did go out, but right now, if you are a provision school, we do not have the numbers for accreditation yet. So because you don't have the numbers for accreditation, you cannot do your October claim. So once you do your October claim, make sure you save, certify, and submit it. And after you submit it, then the low income report will be ungraded. So, and do double check that. We had some of these slides were updated from yesterday because we had a lot of people who didn't realize that they were not submitting their claims. When you do your claim, you're doing it by site, and you certify that by site. And then you have to go to view claim summary and go down and hit submit. That's when you submit your claim. So if you don't do that, then it's not going to pop up. And we had several yesterday that did not realize that they never submitted it to our office. So they were never getting paid. So make sure you're doing that. So when it comes to your October claim, again, so it's for your free reduced eligible students must be currently enrolled. So this is your children that are currently enrolled, and this goes towards like those that are standard claiming, but the kids have to be enrolled in your district. They have to have access to at least 1 meal. It's the number of enrolled children on site. And this was a hot topic yesterday. We are getting more clarification just because things have changed with COVID, if there's a different change. But when it has come to title funds in the past, if it is a true virtual child at your district, they do not come to school at all. They are 100% virtual. They cannot be on the report. Now, we are finding out to see if this is going to be changing any, but right now, if it is a true virtual child, they are not included in this. Now, we have some people that are blended. We've heard like maybe going to school like 2 days a week, like the entire school district goes for like 2 or 3 days, and then they're virtual 2 or 3 days. Or maybe your school closes due to COVID or weather, and you go virtual at that time. That does not include it. It's if it's a true virtual child that is enrolled at your school that never comes to your school, they are solely nothing but virtual. So they cannot be included in this report. Now, forms that can be used for to be on the low income report. So if you have a site that is standard counting and claiming, then it is the application that you send out every year to the parents. Now, I know if you're provision and you're not in a base year, but if you got applications, if you have a site that you got applications, those forms are used for the low income report. If you have a direct certification list, sometimes they're able to get a FITPR list from the tribe. You can use your homeless, migrant, and runaway list, and then all other children are again considered paid. Now, you all do collect the economically disadvantaged form. Now, that economically disadvantaged form is not a child nutrition form. That cannot go on this report. You may send it directly to title funds, but that does not go on this report. Though what is mentioned here are the only things that can go on that report. And I know some of you are, since you're a provision, you're like, how do I do this? I did not collect any of this. I'm going to show you how to do that. So, but we just want to let you know, especially those provision and CEP schools, you have collected those economically disadvantaged forms, but you cannot put them on this report. It is solely based on your child nutrition information. So the low income report, you have 30 days to do it. I understand you guys are not able to do it right now because we don't have the numbers from accreditation, but once it is available, just so you know, we do need to have this done by November 30th. Where is the low income report? If you go to cars and then you go to the checklist, you scroll down and you'll see the low income report right here. And it does say on-site students. In the past, it's been away for a while. And Becky probably knows how long it's been, but we used to have two reports. We had one that said on-site students and one for virtual students. So that was way before COVID, because again, virtual students could not be included on the low income report. If that changes, we will make you aware of it. But right now, if it's a virtual child, so we had one school, they have 5 virtual children, they cannot be included on this report. So the low income report, when you fill it out, make sure you have all your accredited sites. They have to be in here and they have to be in the report. When entering the information on the low income report, make sure that every site numbers are, the names are all correct. If you have any questions or you see any discrepancies, contact our office. Maybe you opened a new site and you don't see it. If that's the case, then make sure that you contact accreditation. Okay, so we're going to talk about the low income report data. We're first going to kind of really be talking mostly about those at first that do standard counting and claiming. But when it does come to your enrollment numbers, in that column 3, I'm going to show you the report. The report's it's 7 slots. There's 7 little columns. That's always been the rule. The rule has always been, if it's a completely virtual child, they are not counted at your school site. So we are talking to Title about it, but they've never been allowed. So we're getting more information about that, but we will keep you posted. Okay, so enrollment that goes based on your October 1st numbers. And it goes into column 3, and this is for ages 5 through 17 only. Now there's other columns 4, 5, and 6, and that's your highest eligibles from your edit check from October 31st for standard counting and claiming. Highest eligible. So when you do your edit check, on your edit check, it's your highest eligible. It's the highest number of kids that could have been eating in that day. In your edit check, you would use your edit check. So if you're standard counting and claiming, you use your edit check and use your highest eligibles, it pulls the report for you. And then for the 2022-2023 enrollment information, it will be compared to accreditation's number, but again, we don't have that yet. So once that becomes available, we will let you know so you can take a look at that. So we're going to again start with those that you have a normal counting and claiming site. This means that you get applications, you do your normal counting and claiming that you would in any other year. Now this is the low income report. This is what it's going to look like for everybody. So everybody who's on here, no matter if you're CEP, if you're Provision 2, Provision 3, or you do normal counting and claiming, this is what the report looks like. And so we have column 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and 6. So this is where you do the drop down box and you pick your site. Your grade you pick from that site, the lowest grade and the highest grade. Total 3 again is your enrollment as of October 1st. And it's 5 through 17. And then you have your free kids and then your reduced kids. So you will have under 5, and then you have over 7, or I'm sorry, over 18 or over, and then 5 through 17. Now, when you are standard counting and claiming, this matches your claim. So if this does not match your claim, you will not be, and really anybody, not just standard counting and claiming. If this does not match your claim, the report won't let you submit it. So you have to, if that's the case, then you have to go in and adjust your claim. So don't freak out about doing that. We don't pay you on the eligibles. We pay you on actual meals served. So this report has to be correct. Again, this number is coming in column 3 is coming from October 1. And these are coming from October 31st, your highest eligibles. And then each site, every time you put one in, however many sites you have to make sure you insert it. Make sure you insert it. If you don't insert it, it will not save. So again, I went through the columns. We have column 1, and you're going to get these slides, is the site name. Column 2, again, you enter the lowest grade at that site and then the highest grade at that site. And then column 3 is your total enrollment of ages 5 through 17. And again, that goes from your enrollment is of October 1st. Now, column 4, 5, and 6, it's of those that are enrolled at your district. And we have those that are 4 and under, 5 through 17, and 18 and over. And you should be able to get that information from your student information system. So the low income report and your October claim, again, you guys have not been able to do your October claim yet because we don't have the information from accreditation. And until you do that, until you submit your claim to our office, you will not be able to do the low income report. And remember, if the eligibles don't match the total in column 7 on the report, it will not let you, it won't let you submit it to us. So again, if you have these mills, you can just go back in. It's very common. It's very, 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 very common. We have to go in, just tell us that you need to revise your claim. You need to change your edits or your eligibles, your participation data, and then we will make those changes, and then you'll be able to submit your report. I would say it's very highly recommended if you do, but when you're doing your low income report, to go ahead and print out the claim, because again, it's your free, reduced, and paid. So this is where we're going to be getting this information from, your daily participation. Okay, again, this is just a low income report. We have column 1, your sites. Column 2 is the low grade and the high grade. Number 3, is your enrollment as of October 1st, ages 5 through 17. And then we have column 4, 5, and 6. This is based on October 31st information. And then your totals right here. So that's all you have to do. If you're just a standard counting and claiming, you can get that stuff from your edit check. You can, and then again, the totals right here in this column 7 will match your claim for your free and your reduced. And these will not match. I can tell you that, like your total enrollment from October 1st is not going to match these totals. So don't freak out. Paid does not go anywhere on here. It's only for free and reduced. Okay, so let's start going to provision 2 and to 3. What do you do? So what we have to do is we have to do percentages. So if you're normal counting and claiming, if you have a site, that's all you have to do is take that information and just kind of transfer it on here. With provision and CEP, you have to use percentages. So you have to do a little bit of math in order to be able to put the information in the low income. So what you have to do is you go to your current year checklist, and I'll kind of show you where that's at in the application and agreement. Those percentages in your current year is what you're going to be finding out for your free and reduced columns in the low income report. So what you will do, so provision 2 and 3, you come to your checklist, and whatever one you are, so this school right here is provision because it has a lock, provision 2 and 3, you'll click on your provision 2. If you're provision 3, you'll click on provision 3. It will not be. Your October 1st number enrollment will not be the same as your eligible. So we know that's not going to match. It's based off of your claim, those numbers in number 7 about matching. So once you click into the provision checklist, whichever you are, provision 2 or provision 3, and again, this one is provision 2, but they should look just alike. This one has 2 sites that are provision 2. And what you do is you click on view details. So again, when the checklist comes up, you'll click on the view details right here, and then it's going to show you your current year. It's going to show you right here your current site enrollment. And this is your current year information. This is, I think, their base year. And this tells you how many years left that you have. But you all have it. You have provision 2 and provision 3. Becky, would you mind putting in the chat? I could not remember. Do they have to go in here first and look at this information and then they certify it, or do we certify it from our office? I can't remember. I know we've kind of done it both ways, but are they supposed to go in there and look at this information, especially their current site information, once we get the information? And you can even unmute yourself too if you'd like to talk, which I know you don't like to. So you have your current site enrollment. So see right here, your current site enrollment. You will need either, do we enter that for them, Becky, or do they have to just make sure it is correct for provision 2 or provision 3?
Kendra, I'm going to interject.
Yeah.
I believe we upload all the numbers and the school needs to review it. And if the school feels everything is confident, they can just go ahead and move on with the next steps if they think something is different. then we can look at that on a case-by-case basis. There are times where we get certain numbers, but then the school disagrees because it might be off just by one, and then we just need to see where that needs to be updated. And if it needs to be updated on our end, the school most likely will need to reach out to accreditation to get that corrected, because we ultimately just get the data from them.
Perfect. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure. I thought that they use this information and just but you do need to double check that the information is correct. Thank you guys so much. Sorry, Becky, I forget you don't have a microphone. But thank you guys for answering that, just so that everybody is aware. You do need to go in and make sure this information does look correct. And if it doesn't, then again, reach out and we can get it fixed for you. So then certifying, then once the year it's certified, then we'll go ahead and go with the process. So we will send out an email or something to let you know when we get the information for accreditation. And I don't know if Edgar or Becky, either one know. It's different every time we get it. But I know that they're hoping for it soon, but we will notify you when it is available, because we know that you guys need to claim. So we're going to look at percentages, and this is just kind of an example. So like, say your total enrollment. So you know that your total enrollment is 326. And then you know that you have 13 that are under 5, and then you have 17 that are over 11. So let's just say your percentages are for free. In provision 2, it's 85% free and you're 3% reduced. Again, we don't look at paid. It's usually in December. Thanks, Becky. So in percentages, so this is the percentages that was in this example for this provision 2 school, that they are for the month of October, their free is 85% and reduced is 3%. And again, they took their enrollment, they took 326 minus the 13 that were the under 5, and then they took minus 11 that were over the 17. And so their total number that we're going to be using is 302 for columns 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to show you how to kind of figure that up. So what you do is so we don't know. So we do know how many total kids we had. We know we had 13 4 and under, and we know that we had 13 that were free and then 11 that were reduced. So what you have to do, because not all of those kids are going to be free, not all are going to be enrolled or reduced, and not all are going to be paid. So what you do is, so for the free kids, so they took the 13 for the free, they multiplied it by 85%, and they got 11.5. So you would have 11 free kids. That's what you would put in the 4 and under. Then same thing, there was 3 reduced, the percentage is 3. So what you do is you take they had 13 kids that were reduced, or they had 13 kids, I'm sorry, that were under 4. So they take the 13 again and do the 3%, and they get 0.39. You use the normal rounding rules. So if it is a 0, so Michelle, this is talking about if they're provision. SNAP kids are free, but that's based on application. This is something a little bit different that we're talking about. This is about using the percentages for how to get your numbers so when you're a provision school, you just get a total number of kids. And this is how you figure out how many were free and how many reduced, is you use those percentages that you have in the system. So you use the same formula for the middle school and high school sites to figure out, again, if it's over 18, you do the same one. Once the free and reduced price eligibles are obtained, the 4-year-olds and under, they go into that one column, and then you have 18-year-olds. So you do the same thing. So whatever your numbers are, so we use the 302 will be the example. I'll go into the next one. So we know that the 5 through 17 was 302. Because we took out our 13 for the 5 and under, and we took out the 11 for the 17 and over. Now, I will tell you, we had this question quite a bit. If a child turns 5 in the month of October, they can be put on the 5 through 17. If they turn 18 in the month of October, they can be put in the 5 through 17, because they were 17 in the month of October and they were 5 in the month of October. So if they have that, if they turn 5 or if they turn 18 in the month of October, they can be under the 5 through 17. So again, we had the 326 and we took out the 13 For under 5, we take out the 11, it gives us the 302. So when we're figuring out the 5 through 17 is we take our total number, which is 302, and multiply it by 0.85, and we get 256.7, or you would round up because of normal rounding rules. Now 302, again, there were 3% that were reduced. So we would take the 302 times 0.303 and get 9.06 or 9. So this is the number that they would put in column 5 under the 5 through 17. So again, so whatever you know your number is from 5 through 7. So we knew that the 5 and under was 13. So you have to do the 85% to find out for free, and then multiply it by 3% to find out the reduced. That would go in that column. Then we figured out right here 5 through 17 by using the 302. And then when you're figuring out, again, your 18 and over, the total number they had was 11. And then they have to, again, apply 85% times 11, and then 3% times 11 to get the reduced. And that's what you're going to put in your columns. Does it? I know it's very confusing, but that's the only way, because all you guys do is a total number of children that ate. You guys don't do, you guys have percentages because you give us the total number. So this is how you need to do your eligibles, because especially if you were CEP 4 years ago, you don't have the same kids there. And so that's why you have to use the percentages if you're in your non-base year. If you are a provision 2 or 3 in your base year, then you can use the applications that you did get to figure out that current number and not have to use the percentages. So now we're going to go into CEP. So we have some people, so we went through how to fill out the report. If you're just standard counting and claiming, you just take that information directly, especially from the edit check. For provision 2, you have to use your percentages and where to go to get that. It's the same thing for CEP. We have 2, if you go to the CARS checklist, we have CEP site information or application and CEP current year. You're going to click on CEP current year information. Again, right here, you're going to click view details. And then when you do that, it does tell you what your percentages are. You do not use the multiplying factor, you use your actual percentages. So if the numbers do look correct, again, you guys need to verify that. You use in column 11, you use your free eligibles for each site. And then sites with students, make sure you get your number for those 4 and under. So you are using the same information, but this is where you go to get your percentages. Do not use the qualifying factor. When you hit view details, you should know, and by even your claim, it will say what your percentage for free is, and you guys will have 0 in reduced. If you're a CEP school, you only have free kids and you only have paid kids. So you're only going to put information in the free column. You're going to leave your reduced as 0. So in this case, if it's the site, you're going to use the 50.99%. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Dana, you are right. You would use the multiplier. I apologize, because that's how you're getting paid. I apologize, you are correct. Use the multiplier because yes, this would be your rate. You are correct. So make sure you use this multiplier for your free children. Thank you. It's having a brain freeze right there. Low income report makes me a little crazy. It makes all of us a little crazy. We got this question yesterday of why you guys have to do this. To be honest with you, like, you have to do this to get your title funds. This is just ran through child nutrition, but this has nothing to do with child nutrition at all. It's just you have to use child nutrition information. So we've been trying for years to get it moved over, but it hasn't happened. I mean, they've been trying since before I came on staff. So yes, if you are CEP, make sure you use the one that says the 0.16. I don't think the multiplier has changed. Yes, thank you, Trudy. It makes us all crazy doing the low income report. It looks very simple, but it just sometimes gets to be a headache. Again, just make sure that those numbers are correct. You're going to be using, and we're going to send you the slides. So if you get confused, you can always contact us here in the office. But we tried to show you what you would look like to do your math. A lot of people have asked, where do you go get your numbers to find out if they're under 4 years of age? 5 through 17 and over 18 is you need to get that from the student information section. So talk to somebody because you'll have your total number, but you do need to know how many of those are under 4 and how many of those are 18 and older. We got this question a lot too, and you guys haven't been asking it, which is good, but I just want to clarify on some things that happened yesterday. If you have a Head Start does not, it's only for children enrolled in your district. Head Start children are usually not enrolled in your district. They're enrolled in a Head Start, but they just may be housed at your school district, or you have contract with them, but they are not enrolled in a school. 3-year-olds are not enrolled in a school. The only way a 3-year-old is enrolled in your school district is if they have a 504 or an IEP. So if you have a Head Start, or if you have 3-year-olds, like a 3-year-old program, they are not included in this list. It is only for those that are enrolled in your school district. Again, we're gonna find out more about virtual, but in the past, virtual children, no virtual child, if they're a true virtual, pre-K is a 4-year-old. So yes, they can be in there. But if they're 3, you need to check to make sure that they are enrolled in the school. So this is what it kind of looks like when you're filling out the low income report and you're done. There's a print button. So you have to print this report out when it's done. So again, here, this shows that they had only 2 sites. You have to print this out and it has to be signed by the superintendent. Do not use your software report. You have to use our report, print it out. And this is a copy of what it looks like from our manual, but print it out and sign it. Have your superintendent sign it. When you're done, we cannot approve your low, so you submit it to us, we cannot approve your low income report without the signature page from the superintendent. You can email that to nslp@sde.ok.gov or to Becky Gray. Please put in the subject line low income report. That makes things go a lot faster. And plus, if you said that you sent it in, it does help a lot to know what it is that we're looking at. Do not email this straight from your machine. We have a lot of issues sometimes when that happens, but you can also fax it. But again, you have to use our printout. You cannot use the software. A lot of people want to use from their software company, whatever, like say Mass or something like that. You have to use our sheet and our printout. We will approve it. And once we approve it, then I'll show you, once we approve your low income report, then your November claim will unlock, but we cannot approve it without that signed signature sheet. So make sure that you send that to us. So this is a little bit of the timeline. Is once you submit your October claim, which you cannot do right now because we don't have our information from accreditation, then your low income report will unlock. And again, make sure, because we found out a lot of schools yesterday were not submitting their claims. So go to the claim summary, view claim summary, and submit it. So make sure you have that. Then once your low income report is approved, so we have to have that sheet that is signed, you send it to us. And once we approve it, then your November claim will be unlocked. And then after your November claim is submitted, then verification report will unlock. And we'll be going over verification report in December. And we have training set up for that already. And then once your verification report is approved by our office, then you can, then your December claim will be unlocked. So we have a lot of stuff going on right now. This is a good little sheet to have to know why you may not be able to claim or why you might not be able to do something. Sherry, are you a normal counting and claiming school, or are you a provision? Or do you have both? So if you're normal, you're fine. You're fine. Just those schools that participate in CEP, or those schools that are provision 2 or provision 3, they cannot do a claim right now because they haven't been able to do a claim at all, if I'm not mistaken, because we don't have information from accreditation. We have to have that information before they can. Yes, we will let you know the minute those are released. I promise, the minute we get them, they're going out. So, because we want you guys to claim as soon as possible. You guys have been really quiet. We're actually at the very end. We had about 20 minutes worth of questions. We're here to answer any of those questions. I can go back to a certain slide if you need me to. Did you guys understand that you need to use your information in your provision 2, provision 3, or CEP, that whatever your total number is for your enrollment, that you need to use that information and then use your percentages. And then that's how you figure out how to do the low income report. Yeah, Becky or Edgar, if you guys are on, a lot of people are submitting, said they submitted their claim for October and their provision. If you know anything about
Yes.
that. Okay, thanks, Edgar.
Sorry. So for those of you that did submit an October claim, we are going to look over those. We will be sending out a mass email probably tomorrow or Friday. We did not process October claims this week. We did process any August or September claims that were submitted, so those will be paid Friday. But for October claims, we have those on hold for the same reason. Most likely, we will unsubmit your claim, and we may need to uncertify the site claims. We're still looking into details. Once we know more, we will probably reach out to those of you that did submit a claim or possibly send out a mass email.
Thank you so much, Edgar. So we have a question. Let me go back. So when you go into your CEP right here, this tells you then when you go in there, it will tell you what your multiplier is. Like right here, it says that they were 50.99. And with the multiplier, it's 81.58. So this is what you would use for your multiplier for your free. Whatever yours says under the multiplier that says 0.16, this will be your percentage. So this is what you will use for your claim. Or I mean, that's the percentage that you'll use for your free kids. And again, your reduced will be 0 because you don't have any children with CEP that are reduced. So regular sites, yes, we did that at the very beginning. Again, when you do your regular sites, what you do is you take your information. I don't want to go too fast. Make sure the information. So when you're doing it, again, your enrollment number for everybody has to be October 1st. And it goes in column 3 and it's 5 through 17 only. And then your highest eligibles are from your edit check October 31st. And that information on here has to match the claim. And if it does not, then you'll have to, we usually have to unsubmit, and you just have to revise your claim to make that match. But it's pretty straightforward for regular sites. Again, here's the low income report. And in column 3, let me go back, sorry. Column 3 right here is your total from October 1st of enrolled 5 through 17. And then this will be your under 5, 5 to 17, and 18 or over. This is from your highest eligibles as of October 31st. And this number right here will match your claim. And if it doesn't, then we need to revise your claim. And we don't pay you based on eligibles, we pay you based on meals. So there's no changes in that when it comes to, we're not gonna revise your claim. No money will be a difference. And again, I thought I had it in here. I guess I did not. As a reminder, and I'm gonna make sure it gets put back in here. I thought I added it to this report before I submitted it. But again, if you have a true virtual student who they are 100% virtual, they do not come to your school at all. Right now, they cannot be on your report. They've never been able to be on the low income report, but we're gonna get more information on that. Yeah, I thought I added that. I'm gonna add that to this section. So if we find anything different, we'll let you know. But right now, if you have a virtual child that is virtual, they don't ever come to school, they're 100% virtual, they cannot be on this report. If you have a Head Start program or a 3-year-olds are not enrolled at your school, they cannot be in this report either. Now, we've had some schools said that they maybe go to school 3 days a week and then they're virtual 2 days a week. That's different because it's the whole school. It's not just one student. but in the past, it's never been allowed for virtual kids that are 100% virtual to be on here. Last year was different because it was COVID. If you shut down for COVID, if you shut down for weather and do some virtual, that's different. This is if the child is 100% virtual. And I'll make sure that that gets in here. Do you guys have any other questions? Right now, Sherry, you would not count them because they are 100% virtual. They're a true virtual child. But once we find out something different, we will let you know. You can claim the meal, but right now they're not considered a part of your eligible. But we've reached out to Title. This is a Title program. Again, this has nothing to do with USDA. This has nothing to do with child nutrition. So we've reached out to Title and they're going to look more into it. In the past, virtual kids could not, so we just want to make sure. We will send these slides out as well. So and the link to the video so you can watch this again, especially because I think a lot of you, you're not able to do this for another, for a while until you can get your October claim submitted. So we will have this available to you. It's also going to be in OSDE Connect. We will send out certificates today, or not today. We will send out certificates for today, but we will send you everything so you are set up. And also the book is another really good source as well. That is correct, Christy. That is correct. And I'll add that one slide to this. The one, just a reminder about the virtual and the 3-year-olds, just again, and in case your superintendent or somebody asks. And then again, reminder that the economically disadvantaged form does not apply here either. And we are done, but we'll stick around for more questions if you guys have any.
Hey, Kendra.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't mute microphones, did you?
Well, I didn't have to.
We're a quiet group. McAllister Schools will be looking for a director in the next few months if anyone wants to come to McAllister.
What's the next few months?
I turned in my letter yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and retire in February.
In February. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I bet you're very excited about that.
Yes and no. You know how I feel.
I get it. I get it.
But
well, congratulations. But yeah, we
so some of you directors that are still on here, that are close in the Southeast, be thinking about it. We're going to actively recruit here. They're gonna start, since they have my letter, they can start looking.
Good.
How's everybody up there?
I think we're doing pretty good. It's crazy. Oh, there you go. You have one. We're doing
Call me,
pretty
Jim.
good.
Call me and I'll tell you.
Congratulations.
Well, thanks. Talk to you later. I'm hanging up.
Bye. If you have a question, very good. If you have any questions about low income, I would reach out to Becky or anybody in the school department. They'll be able to help you out with that. Good save, Jim. Good save. I'm just teasing. Wow, 36 years. That's amazing. We've had a lot of retirees the last couple of years. We will send out a mass email through CARS whenever you'll be able to claim. So we will definitely let you know, because you need to go in and make sure your numbers are correct. So we will definitely let you know. Oh, goodness. Marilyn, were you around when they had the fact sheet? I've heard about the fact sheet. Now we have a big old book. All right, well, I think we're gonna go ahead and head out. I'm gonna give it just another minute if anybody else has any questions. Child nutrition is a lot of information. All right. Well, you guys have a really good day. Have a really good month of November, and we hope we get information sooner for you guys than later. Thanks, Becky. Thanks, everybody. Edgar, all of you for helping. I so appreciate it. Have a good day, everyone.